Hello and welcome back to the Banner Saga, where it's been like 20 minutes since the last episode for me because I can't stop here. We just got back to Moger and the Jets or something. I don't know. If you if if you're not watching these back to back, which if you're keeping up, you aren't, and nobody's keeping up, so I don't know. Never mind. The point is, this recording session has it's been a hell of a thing. And I just don't know what to do. But I can't stop at the end of that last episode. We gotta keep trucking. This either is gonna get worse or it's gonna get better, and well, no, it's not gonna be better either way. It quite possibly might be worse either way. I think it's more likely to be worse either way than better either way. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it does to me. Anyway, Hakan, we're back. I was able to get about as many warriors from Strand as you wanted, and more weapons. Extra supplies, too. Plus 100 Varl, plus 100 fighters, plus 200 supplies. Boy, you couldn't pop that on screen a little bit longer? It's real fucking hard to read. It's not like you have all this, negative space you're not fucking using, or at least not using very well. I guess that goes away once I zoom in, huh? The letterboxing means nothing once you decide to zoom in, because everything's trash. Boy, this is a tone to set the Saturday episode to. You perk up, just now realizing Moger has been talking to you. Since Fagner died, everyone has been looking to you to make the decisions. It's exhausting. Hakan? Sorry, just tired. Go on. I was saying the Varl we sent to Strand have returned. The governor gave us most of what we wanted. Good enough. Much resistance from the governor? Some. I don't think he was happy about us buying his fighters using his own money. He also insisted we take on a lackey of his to watch over his property. A man named Eric. Eric. I met him. He seemed competent enough. Whose perspective are we? We're playing Hakan's perspective now, right? Is that what's we weren't playing as Hakan before. Listen, game, this wouldn't be that hard to fix. It wouldn't even require that much structural change, if any even. You could get it like 80% fixed with no structural changes. But it's a mess. Regardless, the governor will have to get over it unless he wants Dredge crawling through his streets. We've put down every slag that has wandered through here while you were gone. Enough flapping of mouths, then. Fuck you. Sure that wound is healed, Luden? I agree. Enough has already gone wrong. If something happens to the prince on a mission of peace, the alliance would rot. Or worse. What does this mean? There's no... Where even are we? I'll be honest, I don't recall. Admittedly, for me, it's been longer than most players would have... It would have been for most players, but like... We've changed locations, we've changed perspectives, we've changed the character we're playing as, and time has elapsed. Where are we? There's no reason to stay where. One more word would give so much information. Or two. In blah. Still, point stands. Holy shit. Did nobody play this through? Did nobody... I'm so confused by this game. I'm confused by its existence. I'm confused by its existence in the state that it is in. Especially since it got funding for sequels and this never got fixed. I don't know, maybe the sequels fixed all these problems, but they never came back to this, and they're selling them as a pack. It would hardly be the first game to patch, like, it wouldn't even have to have that much, like, you could get 80% of the way there, adding, like, I don't know, 10,000 words to the text. It would get 90% of the way there by adding 20,000 words and some small rewrites and some small perspective changes. It would get 95% of the way there if it was 50,000 words and a little bit of additional key art and maybe one or two more scenes, at least of what we've seen thus far. And I'm not a game developer, but I've made art, I've written stories, this is sloppy work. I know I'm starting to sound like one of those people who's like, oh, I could do better. But I honestly could. I'm so confused by this. I'm so confused who didn't check this, who continued to fund it without, like, adequate checks, or just gave, the various artists, because this is a very artisty game. This is not a game developer-y game, if that makes any sense. I want to know who gave them carte blanche with the money and didn't check the product before it went to market, or didn't check it enough. Anyway, my point was that all three versions of those patches are, one, not a lot of work, two, not a lot of money, like in terms of time or literally, doesn't require anybody to be paid a huge amount, if anybody's being paid at all, versus, having ownership in the company or in the development team. And like tons of games these days, not that I'm condoning it, but tons of games these days get way more substantial patches, as fixes, as more substantial fixes, I should say. This is just, I'm sorry. This is a continuation. If you haven't watched it or you don't recall, go back to the last two episodes, which I think are 7 and 8. Episode 7 and 8. I think this is episode 9. Anyway, go back 2 episodes, watch those, watch me lose my shit. Please watch the whole series and watch me devolve into madness, because I just don't know what to do with this anymore. Okay, moving right along. Wagner's dead. There's no reason to stay. What do you expect me to do? Oh, there's no reason for Luden to stay. That's what it means. Okay, thanks, game. What do you expect me to do? Go back to my father and tell him one Varl died so the alliance is over? He has a point. As Wagner's Kender, you have... Kender, fucking... I get it. I get it, but don't do that. You have the same responsibilities, Hakan. We would only be made to do this again later, and I will not suffer it all a second time. Dude, make a choice. Why does it look like it looks like some of the art is slightly unfinished. This look like his hair looks like it was not quite done. I don't know. Excuse me. Either take us through the wandering road or do your job and slaughter some dredge. Luden turns abruptly with a scowl. He stamps back to his ring of tents and followers. Man, fuck you. How do you still have this attitude after getting our leader killed and then getting wounded yourself? Wandering road's not an option with this many. I could crush that boy's skull with one hand. What? That's borderline non sequitur after the last line. The sentiment makes sense, but if Luden won't be deterred, you'll have to deal with it. Don't let Luden get to you. Let's go. I'm sick of looking at this stuff. Why did we pan over here to hear Hakon's line? Did nobody check this shit before it went out? What do I... Mogur's here. Why are... I'm really starting to froth the mouth. Help me out, Earl Grey. Tell me what to do. What do I tell the warriors, Hakon? Wow, these are pretty divergent choices, and I have no idea whether they actually have any mechanical effect on anything. Where is Schlid again? I have no emotional or... I have no attachment of any kind to any of the places or people or things that have occurred in this game. I have no recollection of Schlid. I do not have a map to check. I got nothing. I got nothing, game. Maybe if I played this in one sitting, which would be a not unfair assumption to make, but also you can't make that assumption in game design. It's not a fair assumption to make. Your game must operate with any breaks taken. Fucking hell. Tell them to be cautious. No more losses. Will do. Give the word and we'll set off. Set off where? Please, tell me. Tell me anything. You knew him well, didn't you? Yeah, let's play the pronoun game. That's fun. Wagner? No. Well, I don't know. I remember him. Always rushing around with some important business, but I never knew him. Never got the chance to talk much. Longer than I did, in any case. I suppose so. When he spoke, Varl listened. I knew that. I could use help there. The Scrivener leans back, considering the sentiment. I've seen worse. They respect you for your ability to swing an axe. They need to respect you for your actions. But you're not talking to the right Varl. Mogur's got some skill there. Most I can do is hold a quill. What? Again, I've said this before. Are these... Do I have to pick one, or do I get to ask as many of these as I want? Fuck it. Let's go with the dumb option on the off chance that I only get one. What do you suppose happened to the sun? Gods, how should I know? Never seen something like this before. Are you worried? Some of the Varl in the caravan think the world's coming to an end. Others think it's the best thing that could happen. No more black months. What does any of this mean? I'm... Like, if I wasn't already pissed off by the game not giving me any information, I'd be really genuinely curious and want to know. But it's overwhelmed by this, like, constant... Oh, we didn't tell you about that, but don't worry about it. Here's the next thing that we're definitely not going to tell you about. I'll take it. If it's the end, I'm ready. What about the rest of us? To the depths with you. Ha. What? Did I miss something? Is this like season 4, episode 18 of a show I didn't watch? Did I stop in at the wrong part where I missed all the lore? Fucking hell. I heard you were a terror in your day. Do you know how old I am? dare I ask? I'm competing, you know? Nobody knows how old we Varl can get, naturally. There's one by the name of Snorri. He's got a few years on me, just hunkers in Grofheim collecting rhyme. Rhyme? Why do I feel like I've heard that word before, but I can't remember what it means. Bastard might actually beat me. Another one named Krumer is close, I think, but the addled son of a bitch still welcomes a fight. He'll probably be off before I am, although the Scrivener gestures around him as if to remind you of the current situation. You chuckle. Anyway, point is, what difference does it make? I'm just a delivery baron for Jornder now. Can't remember half of what I've done. Hence the journal? Hence, don't get fancy on my behalf, Hakan. Okay, I won't. Okay, game. What right do you think you have to have that conversation? It's meaningless. It's interesting world building. It does not belong here. Those words, the time spent writing those words could have been better spent on something more productive, like explaining any of the other shit that's more pertinent. The words you keep using, the other world building things that are less specific and more helpful to like general comprehension of the goings on. The specifics of the longevity of Varl that's way down the list of anyone's priorities or interests. It's not without value. It's just comparative value is extraordinarily low. Why? What are you always putting down in that journal? How do you mean? What do I write? I write what happens. I've got a banner in Arborang for that, you know? You mean the long banner? Yes, the Menders wove up something that writes its own history. You want my opinion? I don't trust it. No? It tells a broad story. I think there's some value in the narrow. Whose story does it write? Mine? Theirs? Luden's? God forbid. Ha, you relic. The gods have been dead a long time. What the fuck does that mean? Oh, have they? Old habits, I suppose. They've got to stop saying you. The second person perspective doesn't make sense. It's pointless. It adds nothing. It subtracts quite a bit. If they would just say Hakan and, you know, rephrase some of the other directives such that you knew you were playing as Hakan. It's... Get some rest. Always more marching to do. I've hoofed more hills than a horse born with a grudge. Don't worry about me. This game's driving me mad. I'd ask how you're dealing with Wagner's death, but I already know the answer. Do you? Boy, Hakan, if your next line isn't, "Shit, dude, I'm sorry. I thought I did, but that was really presumptive of me. Maybe I shouldn't be such a huge dick." If it's anything other than that, you're an asshole. Steady old Moger, which is good. I know most of these Varl, but they're not under my command. They came to follow Wagner. Okay, that's phrased like shit, but also a little dismissive. Maybe you should care what your second in command? I don't exactly understand the relationship here. Maybe you should care how he feels. Maybe if you even if you think you know how he feels, you should still check him out. Make sure he's doing all right. I don't know. Maybe you don't understand. Maybe he's not entirely comfortable bringing it to you. I don't know, man. It's fucking... Tell you the truth, I wouldn't want to be in your position either. Anything you can tell me about the caravan? Throw together this many Varl, half of them want to hit each other, the rest want to be left alone. Anyone I should keep an eye on? There's a couple of clan leaders trying to show off for each other. Not a big deal, I've got it under control. The fighters we just got from Strand aren't bad, but they're unruly. Give it a few days. You picked up 100 unruly Varl. I wouldn't... Never mind. And there are a few moaning about fighting for you instead of Wagner. Those are the ones to worry about. What about Luden's men? They don't want to hear anything from me, I know that. Any problems? Could be. Luden's pet Varl is named Bercy. I'm not sure where he came from or what his deal is. Bastard knows how to fight, but there's something I don't like about him. Comma. His girl in red is scary too. Yrsa. She's probably the best fighter Luden's got, to be honest. Overheard some of the Varl call her the witch. Why? The flaming arrows, I think. It's a good trick. The fire upsets our Varl more than the dredge. What does that mean? Should I be... I don't know if this is internal or external inconsistency, or... Like, he refers to the other Varl like they're... I was gonna say subhuman, but they're, like they're more feral than the two of them are? It's weird. Also, why is Varl lowercase? I guess if it's a species, if it's referring to a species, the problem is there's not a, it's actually, this is actually an interesting question. Tangent time. This is an interesting question. Because we only really, I mean, there's arguments to be made. I would be the first one to disagree with myself on this point, but for simplicity's sake, just go with me here. There's only one sentient species on, or one sapient species on this planet at the moment. Sapient, sentient species with language. And specifically in English, capitalization would be used for nationalities, but there's no real equivalent because we don't have other species to refer to with it. Like, generally the uppercase notation is, it's really an equivalent function to how some functions in other languages with like, not honorifics, but basically as a show of respect, right? You don't make another nationality lowercase because it would be disrespectful, is essentially what it comes down to. But it's interesting because when is specifically when I'm thinking a lot about Native American languages and some African, local African languages. There's a whole bunch of languages in which the name of the people, and this is especially common in Native American, various Native American languages, is the name that they are referred to in English is actually, when if it's translated back, is the name is just, quote, the people, unquote, or some variation therein. It's not like a name they gave themselves. It's literally the word for people, or the people, the important people. It's essentially, it's that same level of elevation, and is used with a capital or an equivalent grammatical function in the language. So, to come back here, the fact that Varl is not uppercase is a little bit odd, because it seems to be used both as the species is Varl, but it's also used as a general term for the people as a whole, which makes it closer to that sort of, native language function of the people, Obviously, they're speaking a common language with the humans, but it's that sort of thing functionally in the language. It seems like. Anyway, tangent over for the moment. I mean, it all comes down. I can just answer my own question by saying, there's way worse shit this game is doing. Why am I picking on this? Yeah, fair point, me. These are the things that I stay up at night thinking about. Still doesn't make much sense. Which? They're not scholars, Hakan. I think they're mostly just afraid of her. That makes more sense. Don't let her find out. Haven't you ever wanted to be in command? That's a stupid question, but I'll ask it. More than I am? Any more rope and I'd hang myself. Yeah, amen. I doubt that. I forget, you weren't around back then. At one point I had more rope. I hung myself. So no, I'm not interested in command. It's all yours. Thanks? What kind of fucking answer is that? What kind of response is that, dude? You think we're walking into a death trap? This many Varl? No, we should be alright. Things could get rough, though. Could... again, I'm gonna pull out the word that's not entirely appropriate here, but it's the best. And it's one that people don't like, but it's the most appropriate term that I can think of here. There's not a better one. Ludonarrative dissonance. You're telling me that we've got a lot of Varl. Functionally in the game, we don't have a lot of Varl. We've got, like, what, 4, I think? We've got 3 or 4 to play with. And if they go down, I don't get more. I have to wait for them to heal. So the fact that we just got 100 Varl warriors is meaningless. And the fact that the story and the actions being taken and the reactions being had are based around a reality that does not exist in the actual functional game world is trash. It rips you right out of the world. At best, it breaks the immersion between the gameplay and the storytelling. I don't like being the one to send Varl to their deaths. I like worrying about myself, and that's the extent of it. Who would have expected Wagner to drop like that to a couple of slag? I'm still wondering what happened. He had hundreds of dead slag to his name. I don't get it. You mean like maybe Ludens fucking stabbed him? I don't know. Just happens sometimes. No big moment. I'm sure it surprised him even more than us. Although, I have to wonder... no, never mind. Anyway, I'll worry about the warriors. You worry about not doing something stupid. That's asking a lot. Why would I not just continue the... I was wondering why I wasn't going to say anything about that, and then I do, but why would I not just continue the existing dialogue? What were you holding back about Wagner? I'd rather not say, Hakan. Why not? It's the kind of thing that gets stuck in your head, and you need a clear one. It's better if you let me worry about it. That is not a function of the mechanics, so unless you're about to tell me that hearing this shit is literally going to lower my mechanical advantages, I want to hear it. Sounds important. Tell me. How did Wagner die? He ran into Dredge. Wasn't expecting it. When he found him, he was lying face down, like he was struck from behind. Yup. Did he really get taken down by some random slag? Who else was there? You think Luden? He probably didn't, but... damn it, we should keep an eye on that bastard. If you see anything else, tell me. Fucking duh. At least the game acknowledged it. And isn't just gonna, like, surprise me with it in an hour or two. Let's get back to it. Let me know if you need anything else. I will. That shot, reverse shot shit. It's been worse, but that was not good. Oh, man. I haven't gone anywhere or done anything. Why is Varl listed separately from clansmen? They should just say humans if that's what it is. Oh my god. We're now half an hour into this episode and we haven't done shit. Well, I mean, we haven't left the camp and we haven't fought anything. And technically I'm fine with that, since clearly the game is not moving at the pace I expected it was going to move. I thought this might function somewhat like, when I started the game at least, I thought this might function somewhat like XCOM, where they'd be like some things to do in between and then mostly it'd be going from battle to battle, but nope, it's gotta have all this other stuff that's sort of half-baked. What a shame, really. It's just, more than anything, it disappoints me as a squandered opportunity. Anyway, I think I should probably just cut the episode since we're about to leave the camp, I think. Actually, before I do that, let's take a look at the heroes real quick. Who do we actually have? Huh. Okay. And everybody can get... Luden is not here. Why? I'm confused. I have two different pools. I have two different pools of renown. Why? Yeah, I mean, I guess so. Not having stats isn't helping me, so... Thank you, car horn outside. That's helpful. I guess he keeps going down, so he's not getting... I guess I have... Yeah, I haven't gotten any kills with him. So what's your deal? You've just got a lot of... Rank 1. Oh! The rank is not the ability rank. The rank is how many points you spend on it. I just realized that. For some reason, when I was looking at Rook's abilities before, these were in purple instead of in yellow. The fact they're in yellow, like, just made it click in my brain that when you have more than one point that you can spend in a turn, it means that you can spend more, you can put more than one rank into the, like, you can, essentially it's like leveled casting in D&D, you know, where the higher rank or higher level slot you cast with, the more powerful it is. It's like that. But god damn, so much text and numbers and all that shit, and I have to figure this out for myself. See, it's not even shown. Yeah, god damn it. Okay. Grant an ally 6 willpower. Interesting. That's quite a lot. 2 up to 6. I mean, does it actually cap their... What is... Don't they have a maximum pool? Yeah, so, like, if I gave him 6, can he overcharge his willpower? That is his willpower, right? Yeah. Can you overcharge beyond the size of their inherent pool? If not, then there's no reason to put a point in here, because then I can only go to 4 anyway. If I spend two ranks, rank 2, grant 4, which is larger than some people's pools anyway. What a game. Okay. Without further ado, we'll call this episode to a close. Thank you guys for watching. In the next episode, we'll actually get back on the road. We'll see you guys next time.